Luke Gromen is always talking about the paper gold markets, the paper oil markets, the paper dollar. He's the paper boy. This is Brian Lewis with MMT Investing, and things just changed. So Luke Gromen is with FFTT, Forest for the Trees. It's a financial data and analysis kind of company. And on Twitter, he's recently been talking about the paper oil markets obviously crashing recently, and he says if the paper gold market ever crashes like the paper oil market just did, we will not see a huge storage problem. We're going to see how much central banks really value their gold, which is an interesting topic. and he thinks that the paper dollar market could very likely crash, just like the oil did, because of the structure of like the paper market. And I talk about the GLD quite a lot as being super risky, because the custodian of the GLD is HSBC, which is basically a bankrupt bank that's failing during this international financial crisis that the Fed's like trying to bail out and give liquidity to, and it's just like scary. So he talks about the dollar going down versus gold. So he looks at smashing that like button right now, please, to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, he talks about at some point the Fed taking things on the balance sheet has to stop, and they're gonna have to revalue paper dollars against physical gold. And so he's big on gold, and he thinks there's going to be a huge event where gold gets repriced to a much higher level. And that, what do I think about that? Well, that's happened once before in the last like 100 years, and the last time that happened, they just took all the gold from everybody, and then they repriced it, and then they used gold in the monetary system, and nobody made money on it because they took the gold. So, I mean, I think that would probably be the most likely scenario. If they're going to revalue gold, they're probably not going to like give a huge profit to all the gold investors. They're probably going to collect the gold first and take the profit themselves, or sort of use it as like tax money or just a restructuring of the financial system. So that is where the topic of political diversification and physical storage of gold comes into play, as in that situation where gold gets revalued as a government monetary asset, or as against the dollar as money. Can you protect your gold and keep it through a revaluation? So that is an interesting topic, and a lot of people talk about gold possibly going up, but who knows when. And I don't know either, other than I think in about a week and a half, gold is going to go up when the stock market bounces off this intermediate bottom. And that's about all I think. That's my outlook on gold, is just a swing trade in a couple weeks. I don't know what gold is going to do. It's crazy, but I think it is looking bullish. I think it might bubble, and I don't know. It either might bubble or it might revalue in a government political kind of way, which would be pretty wild. So this is not investment advice, and cheers.